光はいつも楽しそうだな。
いつでも楽しいですよ。それに私、頭のメモリーが限られているんです。
おお。
だから幸せになることにしか使えませんし、そのためだったらどんな労力も惜しみません。
Hey everybody, welcome to our lesson of learning Japanese. Today we got another anime line of the day. This time around we're taking one from the show Amanchu, and this is a pretty intermediate level line, I guess I would say. It's a long one, and what it translates to in English is my brain has a limited memory capacity. Because of that, I can't afford to waste it on anything other than what makes me happy. If it's for that, I don't mind going to any lengths. This is a poignant line here. Before we jump into this, we need to cover some vocabulary words, so without further ado, first one, atama, is going to mean head or brain. In this case, we chose brain in our translation, just because we're talking in the context of how smart the person is or their memory, so you would use brain instead of head there. Next up we have the verb kagiru, which is going to translate to basically to limit or to restrict. It is a word that is not only just a vocabulary word, but also part of a decent amount of grammar patterns, so worth checking those out. Next up we have the noun shiawase, which means happiness. It's a pretty common word. After that we have tsukaeru, the verb that means basically to be useful, to be of use. Next we have rouryoku, which is going to translate to effort or trouble. And lastly we have the verb word oshimu, which means basically to be frugal, to be sparing, or something along those lines. So now that we have our vocabulary list covered, let's jump into this lengthy line here. It's going to start with the simple word watashi, which just means I. Here we're not going to mark watashi with a topic marker like you might usually would. We're just going to put a comma after it in this line. But basically what the comma is kind of doing is basically denoting watashi as the topic in lieu of the particle wa. So after that we have the word atama, our first vocabulary word, brain or head. It's going to be part of a noun modification here with the second noun, memori, which was not in our vocabulary list just because it's a katakana word of an English word, memory. So atama no memori is going to be basically my brain's memory capacity or something. Following that is the particle ga to denote that there's going to be a verb that's about to show up, which is our second vocabulary word, kagiru, in its passive form. So kagirarete iru is going to be passive form changed into the te form with the accompanying verb iru to mean basically is limited as opposed to limit or to restrict. So we have right after the iru the and then the des to end the sentence. So then the first sentence in our line here, Watashi atama no memori ga kagirarete irun desu, is going to translate to basically my brain's memory is limited. More naturally, we're just going to go with my brain has a limited memory capacity.
それに私、頭のメモリーが限られているんです。
Oh.
Moving on, we move into the second sentence of the line, and it starts with Dakara. And this is going to mean because of that, and that is going to refer to what you just said before you started this sentence, which is the sentence that we just covered. So because my brain has a limited memory capacity, shiawase ni naru koto ni shika tsukaemasen shi. Shiawase of course means happiness. Ni naru is the grammar pattern that means to become. So shiawase ni naru means to become happy. Then we're gonna tag the koto on right after that to basically mean things that are happy or things that make me happy. And we're gonna then in turn mark things that make me happy with the particle ni. Then we're gonna be using the particle shika, which is kind of translate this to basically anything other than what makes me happy. When you use shika, you need to use it with the negative form of a verb, so we see that coming up here with the tsukaeru. It's going to be changed into the negative form tsukaemasen. So then shiawase ni naru koto ni shika tsukaemasen is going to translate to can't use anything other than happy things. More naturally, we're just going to translate this in our English translation to I can't afford to waste it, and it being my memory capacity on anything other than what makes me happy. We see the ending shi there. Before the comma, and the she is a grammar pattern in and of itself that is used to provide a reason for something.
だから幸せになることにしか使えませんし。
And as we continue on, we get a decently long pause. Then we have Sono tame dattara, donna労力も惜しみません. And so Sono tame dattara, Tame is a grammar pattern in of itself as well, so we're getting a lot of grammar patterns here. Tame is basically going to translate to sake. So when you say something tame ni, you mean for the sake of this, I'm going to do something. So sono is the demonstrative word that means that, so sono tame is going to be for the sake of that. Of course, referring to everything that we've just covered so far, the context of not wasting things on anything that doesn't make you happy, so for the sake of that. And so we have tame here, this grammar pattern in of itself basically. It's just going to be used in its noun form, though. The grammar pattern is usually used as like a conjunction. You say tame ni to mean for the sake of this, so then you continue the sentence onwards. Here, tame is just being used as a noun, so that sake. And then we have the da to put the da copula after tame as a noun. And then we're having another grammar pattern in and of itself here, the tara grammar pattern to mean basically the hypothetical. So in this case, sono tame dattara is going to translate to if it's for the sake of that. Then now we're going to continue on and we're going to say whatever it is for if it's for the sake of that. So we see here that next is donna. This is like going to translate to however much. It's going to be modifying the word right after it, which is our next vocabulary word, rouryoku, and this is going to mean basically however much trouble. And then the particle mo there is also part of this expression, donna rouryoku mo, no matter how much trouble or effort. Oshimimasen, and this is our last vocabulary word. The verb oshimu to mean to be frugal, to be sparing, but it's in its negative form here, so it means I won't be frugal or won't be sparing. Our natural translation is just going to be I don't mind going to any lengths, or I'll go to any lengths if you want to do it, non-negative translation. So sono tame dattara donna労力も惜しみません. If it's for that sake, or if it's for that, then I won't be frugal going to any lengths. More naturally, if it's for that, I don't mind going to any lengths.
そのためだったらどんな労力も惜しみません。
Okay, so that's gonna cover it for the line. Let's combine everything together now and repeat the whole line. Watashi, atama no memori ga kagirarete irun desu. Dakara, shiawaseになることにしか使えませんし、そのためだったらどんな労力も惜しみません. My brain has a limited memory capacity. Because of that, I can't afford to waste it on anything other than what makes me happy. If it's for that, I don't mind going to any lengths. That's going to be our natural translation that we went with. There's probably open to interpretation. This line is so long and has a decent amount of grammar patterns, but yeah, that's the one that we're going to go with.
それに私、頭のメモリーが限られているんです。だから幸せになることにしか使えませんし、そのためだったらどんな労力も惜しみません。
So now that we're done here, let's just review the grammar patterns that we encountered. Noun of a noun modification at the beginning right there. Passive form of kagiru plus the te form plus the iru, kind of helping verb, I guess you can call it. So it is restricted, it is limited. Kara right there is a conjunction that means because. We have the ni naru grammar pattern to mean basically to become, but in our translation we don't quite literally translate it to that. We have the koto to mean things. We have the shika particle to mean basically nothing but. We have the negative polite form of verbs with tsukaemasen. We have the grammar pattern shi to provide an explanation. We have the tame word / grammar pattern, I guess you could call it, to mean sake. We have the dattara. The tara is the hypothetical tara form right there. Then I think that's it, because we just have a repeat of the polite negative form with oshimu at the end right there with oshimimasen. But yeah, I think that is a decent amount of grammar patterns right there. I'm pretty sure that counted over 5. So quite the informative line grammar wise and life philosophy wise.
光はいつも楽しそうだな。
いつでも楽しいですよ。それに私、頭のメモリーが限られているんです。だから幸せになることにしか使えませんし、そのためだったらどんな労力も惜しみません。
Alright, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Anime Line of the Day. Remember, if there were grammar patterns mentioned for this line, they'll be mentioned in the description or the pinned comment below with links to the individual lessons on them. You can also probably find them in the playlist of our complete grammar video series shown on the screen right here alongside our anime playlist. And last but not least, don't forget to try to translate the bonus line we provided. Leave your translation in a comment below. Check out our Patreon, like the video, and subscribe. With all that said and done, see you next time.